Hello, everyone. It's us again, Reviews from the West. We're continuing our October spooky special. Ooh, ooh. That was Chase.
It is.
We are also joined by Nick McCann
Yes, we are, and
someone else. Take it
Yes.
away.
we are after a long hiatus and a long void period, are pleased to welcome back our friend, the original, the co-founder, our brother, our collaborator, our mother. Wait, what? It's Ryan. It's Ryan. Ryan's back.
Your mom or dad, whichever.
Ryan's back. Thank God Almighty.
That's good.
Is that copyright? Can we do that?
That's the only way I'm gonna welcome myself back.
Nice.
Fuck it. We'll take the hit. Demonetized.
Good to have you back,
Okay.
Ryan.
Thank you.
We
I'm
love
worth a demonetization.
hell
yeah.
You're worth all the not money in the world.
So, how's everyone doing?
Shitty, but it's getting better.
Doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. My cat got neutered today.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Funny.
he's not doing too hot.
Oh no.
He's fucked up right now, man. He's off his yannies, man.
His Yanni's and his rocker.
Yeah.
Wait, you only have the
wow.
one cat, right?
So we have two, but I only have one. So we
this
have
is Uzi, right?
This is Uzi. Yep, little Uzi vert, my cat.
The Uzi 9mm.
Uzumaki Biddle, his name is. Great little cat. He's a cool dude. I like him a
I've
lot.
been naming every snail in front of my house Uzumaki.
Yep. Great. Perfect. See, we got this connection here. I'm gonna bring Uzi over to the house, and I'll just have him meet his snail cousins.
He's gonna turn into a snail. I've read the manga.
Oh shit, bro! That's a
Snail
spoiler.
cat.
That's a spoiler.
What
Snail cat.
manga is this?
Naruto.
Japanese.
What?
Jap-
In here, everyone was talking over each other.
Japanese.
All right, what's the name of it?
No, it's
Uzumaki.
yeah.
Oh, that's it. It's just the name. Okay.
All right. What are we here for today, guys?
Isn't this Chase's pick?
Oh shit! It is my pick. So I want to before we get in, I just want to say that Ryan, I don't know if you had listened to a couple episodes back, but originally I was going to do Suspiria 77, which we watched this week. But then we had a little bit of a spat on a couple episodes ago, and Nick said that Midsummer was it. I don't. What was Nick? What was the wording?
Not quite as cracked up as it used to be.
No, it was like it wasn't as deep as it thinks it is, or something like that.
I guess so. Yeah.
Something we were talking about. The Carpenter and how the movie is deeper. I think it's something like deeper than Midsummer or something like that.
Well,
Are you telling me I have to justify my pre-order for the director's cut right now?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. One thing I didn't say it was deeper than Midsummer, and also it's been a long time. It's also been a long time since I watched Midsummer, so I'll have to look at it again at some point.
You should. It's fucking great. But
I love
I mean,
it.
yeah, but I don't know. Ari Aster, I just can't get into his movies like everyone else is.
I agree that's overhyped,
Yeah.
I don't.
but it's really
I love
good.
it.
It's
I
great,
think-
but
Fantastic. I do appreciate the fact that we went and saw the director's cut. That actually made the movie infinitely better for me, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so today we're.
Are you guys real quick? Are you excited for what he's doing next?
What is he doing next?
It's a 4-hour spaghetti factory nightmare comedy. That's literally his description.
is it confirmed
What?
4 hours?
That is what he said.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
comedy.
Okay,
I better laugh.
about it. Anyway,
dude. The comedy in Midsummer had me fucking cackling, dude.
those
There-
ladies know they're walking stupid.
Yeah, do those kids know they're walking stupid?
There was comedy in Midsummer.
Oh yeah,
What?
bro.
Totally forgot about it.
Like when fucking Christian is just drank the the drug, and the one dude
Dude,
next to him
claps.
slaps him in his
Mhm.
face. He goes, "Why did you do that?"
Which one's Christian?
Christian's the boyfriend, Bear Man.
Oh, the guy from Transformers.
I would
Huh?
never ever think that.
What do you say?
No, Jack Rayner. He's in Transformers: Age of Extinction.
It's the one with
Like the
Mark Wahlberg.
cartoons?
It's the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
Mock?
I think we found a transformer.
yeah, that one.
Mocky?
Mark.
Macky Mac.
Marky Mark.
Mock.
Anyway.
But
So
we're not talking about Midsummer right now, are we?
no, we're talking about Suspiria 77.
Mm.
This movie has been on my radar for probably 2 years now, since I've been experimenting with different, like, more obscure styles of movies.
Mhm.
And this is in the style of it's either giallo or giallo, whatever it is.
Yeah, Italian horror.
Italian horror with a focus on the main thing that, like, you can see from it is that it's all shot. The voices are all recorded in English, and no matter what, they are also recorded in post ADR. So it's a little goofy to see at first. You're like, "What the fuck is going on?" But definitely takes a little bit to get used to. But once you get used to it, it starts rolling. But also for me, the main thing that stood out as camera guy, and I'm sure Ryan, you can agree, is that in giallo films they have a really big focus on obscure lighting and
Oh my goodness,
obscure
yes.
colors. So, like, colors that wouldn't necessarily, you would essentially, it's unnecessary color, which is absolutely perfect to me.
It's full on surrealism at that point.
It's this movie is before even saying anything. This movie is fucking gorgeous. It is
Yes, indeed.
so beautiful. And the first, like, 10 minutes, there's we'll get to the scene, but there's the opening, pretty much the opening scene is I think about it when I'm thinking about color. Like, that's the shot that comes into my head.
Mhm.
And so
Think of the whole movie when it comes to.
I'm- but yeah, exactly. But I'm very excited to talk about it. But Nick, why don't you give us a
Hold on,
goddamn
hold on.
oh,
We gotta get into the
Sure,
short
but
film.
we are
oh, the short film.
proceeded.
Oh, Jesus criminy. Oh my god. I
Come
also
on,
chose a short
Chase.
film. I also chose a short film. What is wrong with me? And that short film is called Invaders. And it's a Thanksgiving horror film. Huh.
Hmm.
Huh. Huh.
Hmm.
And
Who
who's
the
it
fuck?
directed by? I didn't read the name.
Okay. Directed by Jason Kupfer. Written Kupfer. Kupfer.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
interesting name.
Yeah.
So yeah, Invaders. Just to give a brief synopsis, it's about two home invaders who blunder their way into disaster. Essentially, it goes horribly and comedically wrong for them.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting this. Well, no, I hear Invaders. I'm thinking, oh, he picked an alien movie. This is gonna be sweet. Nope, this is straight comedy.
Yeah, I specifically looked up horror comedy short. I'm not a big horror guy, and I definitely like comedy in my horror just because I think it soothes the pain a little bit for me.
Yeah.
But I would barely consider this horror.
Oh hell no.
But yeah. So that's why I chose it. But
Well, right at the gate when it started, I had to ask myself, when did they get Victor's car for a film? And why didn't he tell us?
Yes.
you give your car away to a movie?
It's not the same car, but it
That's
looks
an old
like,
wagon.
Mm.
It looks like it.
I thought this was funny. I'm a big mask guy. Like, I love, like, masks and shit like that. So the thumbnail, when I saw the masks, I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy and spooky. I'm gonna click on that, and I was really happy that I did.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
unexpected, honestly.
I wasn't
Just where
crazy
it
about the-
goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, overall, it's pretty simple. But I think it's pretty funny.
I
Not
think
gonna
so.
lie.
I was weak when that dude took the turkey carver out.
Yeah.
Motherfuck. Wow.
Oh man, I'm also a huge fan of like exaggerated blood.
Yeah, me too.
So just
Mhm.
a fucking
Dude.
pressure washer amount of blood coming out of this dude's face and like spraying all over the other dude. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Looks like Kool-Aid.
it did. It did.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid
Like,
blood, not
It
pink
was
blood.
funny at first, but when he had to go back for the dude's keys,
Yeah.
and he's just standing there spraying from his face, that was so funny.
Yeah, the fact that he never falls either. He's just standing there like
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, that was weird, but
that was
funny.
real good.
spraying all this fucking blood into this like suburban neighborhood front yard.
I was kind of hoping the
Uh,
car when the car just starts going on its own, gets knocked forward. I was hoping it would cause more chaos as it went on, but
I
I was like, wow, that was
thought
only
it was
5
gonna be the
minutes.
rule of threes, dude.
It had to.
Rule of
Yeah, I
threes?
thought it had to
what?
be.
What? The person dies, the other person dies, and the car dies.
Car explodes. I was waiting.
I love. I've seen that like a shot that really surprised me is when he's playing with the knife in the fucking squirrel map. Like it's all slow and like
I loved that.
That was
dreamy.
neat. Yeah,
I
and then
didn't
the
make much
close-up
sense
of
to
his
me.
neck.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I thought that was great. I was confused about it, but I was like, you know what? I don't
Why
care.
I
not?
love that
Why
stuff.
Exactly. It's a 5-minute short. Why not? Just do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it. I'd say it's a watch.
I definitely, yeah, absolutely. This is a fun one. I definitely enjoy.
Good absurdist comedy.
Yeah.
They got their pacing down too.
Yeah. I wasn't crazy about the masks. Is that weird of me to say?
No.
It works
I-
for the gag.
They're very simple.
but-
Yeah.
The mask added for me when he gets to the door. He's like, "Howdy, Pilgrim," and then just stabbed through the face. I was like, that worked for me. That was
well,
funny.
Same.
That's when it was. That's when I liked it.
I do wish that the guy on the right, I think his name in the film is Driver. I wish that his mask was just a little bit bigger, but I think it adds to the humor, the fact that it's definitely too small for his fucking face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can full on see it.
Honestly, the funniest parts for me is when they're in the car in the opening, and it's the scene where they have to get out of the car. You just hear dead silence, and then the raw audio of them thudding around the inside and getting out. That kind of stuff just makes me laugh for some reason. Whether it's the most amateur movie or the most professionally made movie, just it's simple. It's the simple real world stuff that
Yeah.
kinda makes me he's just sitting there, and then
Yeah. I have the in I don't know why, but for something that like makes me laugh every single time when there's movies where there's like an awkward silence and someone like coughs.
Always.
Like Avatar: The Last Airbender does it like almost every episode, and it makes me fucking laugh every time. Like somebody's like, "Oh yeah," and then they'll just be like a in the background, and then fucking kill.
it's such an old school gag, and it makes me think of a lot of other old school gags that kind of went with time, unfortunately, because there was that crickets chirping that's still kind of around on occasion.
That was like the original awkward silence breaker, and it was super funny back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff you see on an episode of Rocket Power or SpongeBob, just kind of it just adds to the whole style of
I
it.
think it's done really effectively when it's used in the context when they write it. It's in the sense of this is the audience being uncomfortable, so there's silence, and then the cough is almost the audience being like, it's like
Yeah.
they're the ones that are uncomfortable.
Oh, and it's so fucking funny.
Wait, guys, hold it.
There
Exactly.
you go.
Exactly. Oh man, but yeah, I definitely think this is a check it out. If you, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
Take-
It's on YouTube. Look under the altar channel. Sorry, Chase, for button in there.
oh, good. Yeah, that's 5 minutes. Just fucking watch it. It's super good. I like it a lot.
I give it 3 stars.
Uh,
Victor,
I'll do that as well.
3 stars.
I
But
give
you loved it.
3 out of, but we don't know how many he was giving it. I think it could be 3 out of 4.
Mm,
Is it out of 5?
I'm gonna leave it up
Look,
to a
man,
mystery.
100's a big number.
Oh god, I have to do hundreds for my new gig now. Oh, that's another thing that happened to me. I am currently, it looks like I'm writing for another movie reviewing website. Victor gave me a tip off to some guys, and now I'm writing for them essentially. So
Hey,
That's
Hey.
awesome.
congrats, dude. That's fucking sweet.
yeah,
Hell
I got to
yeah.
see my first screener movie, and that was really cool.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
What was it?
Yeah. It's one Ryan would really like. I know that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of a sidetrack thing, but it just made me think of that.
Yeah, man. Well, congrats. That's sweet. I'm
Yeah, dude.
That's very
jealous
good.
that you're getting an opportunity to do something fun with something that you love. I'm fucking envious, but I'm so happy for you, man.
Yeah, man.
That's
I mean, I'm not getting paid, but it's still kind of fun.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
No, Taylor, Michael, if you're listening, thank you so much. And I really want to see that review posted. If you can hurry up, please. I'm really
You're fired.
excited.
Hey,
Fired.
they'll post it when they post it.
You're fired.
I'm just really excited, guys. So that's Invaders. Should we move on to the main attraction?
I think
Yeah,
so.
my T-shirt. Who can guess who's on my T-shirt right now?
Nosferatu.
Close. I had that yesterday.
Oh,
Was it? Do you have a Suspiria shirt that I don't know about?
No, I have Toshio from The Grudge.
Oh.
Anyway,
I still got to see The Grudge. But anyway, here's Suspiria from 1977, directed by Dario Argento. Suspiria follows Susan Banyan, a young American dancer fresh off the plane in Germany, to attend a prestigious dance school. Upon her arrival, however, all manner of strange events begin to take place that result in mystery, discomfort, and even murder.
dun 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 dun. I love it. That was a good description, man.
Good job.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dario Argento, he's somewhat famous. Actually, no, he's a lot famous in the horror community. He's one of the standout giallo directors, and this movie is one of his major claims to fame.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Mhm.
like Chase said, I am also in agreement with Chase. This has also been on my radar for a while. I actually had a strange experience when I tried to watch this because I borrowed Ryan's copy a couple years back, and this is when the Amazon Studios remake premiered, and I wanted to watch it before I watched that one,
Mm-hmm.
but I could not. I guess it was the mood I was in, but I just didn't watch it. I didn't feel like watching either of them, so I just gave it back. But then Chase, years later, suggested this, and now we're watching it and talking it here.
Yeah, it was like it was fucking Destiny or something.
It's like it was destiny.
So Ryan and I are the only ones who have watched this before.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the two newbies. What'd you guys think? Newbies.
Yeah, Nick, why don't you start off?
okay. Sorry. Excuse me.
Make sure to spike that. Vic.
Got it.
I have a gassy tummy, fellas.
Ew.
That's interesting.
Not like that.
Gassy Tommy.
Anyway, Suspiria, 1977. It's very violent. There's a lot of pretty colors, and it's a very nice, if slow, horror movie.
Nice. This is gonna be like a fucking 10-minute podcast.
Is that it, Nick? Is that totally all you have to
Okay.
say?
So I will say, yeah, the color scheme, as we've been talking about earlier,
It's a given.
It's a given, yeah. The colors, they use solid colored lighting all throughout. It really creates a cool atmosphere. It's like you're in a demented coloring book or something.
Oh yeah.
It's just to name a couple parts I like. So, okay. First off, as per usual, we're doing spoilers as always. So yeah, there is an opening kill scene in this movie. Lots of great colors on top of it, just being really shocking. That's another. I think that's one of my favorite part of this movie. The shock value actually has impact. It's some really good,
I agree.
disturbing content.
Especially that first kill is
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
really
man.
well done. Especially
It's
you know,
really-
even if it's a
it's-
little
yeah.
it's a little messy, but it's still really good, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sort of like you have a hand coming off frame, just stabbing her. It looked like a comedy bit a little bit. Reminds me of SpongeBob when he had the big hands that cleaned SpongeBob of his suds.
Ew.
Oh.
Oh my god, that was the fucking that shit is disgusting, but I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, it's classic. Giallo also has a tendency to heavily lean on murderer with black gloves. is
Really?
a big thing as well. From what I've heard,
Oh yeah.
from what I
you're
hear,
right.
I don't. This is the first Giallo film. I just did some research on it.
Sure.
But yeah.
What did you think, Chase? What did you think?
So I think the movie stood out to me more on a visual cinematic standpoint. I think for me with something like Giallo, it's the dubbing. It just completely took me out. It took a bit for me to I got used to it eventually, but it was still tough for me to be engaged because it's just so noticeable. I couldn't like shut my brain off on it.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is definitely one of the most like visually creative films that I've ever seen. I think this and something like Neon Demon are in the same realm of like color space at least. And I always end up bringing up the fact that it looks like something I could make, and in a perfectly in a non-offensive way. It feels like something that something that's so powerful and strong, and it's so simple from what they're doing. They're just shining like a bunch of lights, and it just fucking works, and a bunch of gels and everything, and it's just beautiful. But I do think I enjoyed the movie the deeper in I got. Like towards once everything really starts going to shit, I was super in it.
I will say that too. It definitely gets better as it goes along because it is quite a slow burn at the start. A lot of great horror films are slow, but they're not terribly slow. I find this one was noticeably slow in points.
But does slow
up until
always equal boring, or in this case?
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's
But in
just
this
a different.
case,
In this case, it was just a different style of movie that you learn to adapt to as you watch it, and if you stick with it, it's quite rewarding.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't go as far as saying that it is boring. It's just for my dumb gooey goblin brain, it's a little hard for me to like sit down and watch it. This isn't one of those where I want to watch it again. And yeah, I definitely want to give this another shot. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. Like visually, that helps me a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to get the full effect of everything. I want to watch it again. I want to watch it like complete darkness. Like I watched this right before I was going to work, so it's like, I want to do it like maybe coming home from work. I had a long day, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna sit and watch this movie.
Yeah.
That's what I did with Carnival of Souls, and I felt like the experience was better because I just kind of shut everything off. Like I wasn't really on my phone. I wasn't,
Plus, you're thinking about work the entire time.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so I'm just like, oh fuck, I gotta go into work. I have a whole, I gotta close at work. I gotta, all this shit. So yeah. I don't know.
I'm curious how you'll feel about the remake because you haven't seen that, right?
I have not seen the remake. No, I want to for sure.
I'm really
I
curious what you think about it.
Mhm.
I saw some of the remake, but I don't remember a lot of it.
I saw all of it, and I will never forget the director's opinion on the remake.
Okay, what do you mean?
The director hates the remake.
Oh,
Wow.
like
Oh, you mean
Argento?
Argento?
Yeah, he says he is completely against the movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's
that makes sense.
completely-
It's completely different. I mean, maybe the same plot and everything, but visually, it's not the same movie at all.
Yeah, he says it
Plus-
takes the soul away from the movie by doing that.
It's one of those
I agree.
remakes, huh?
Plus, it's like
Yeah.
an hour longer than it really should be. I remember sitting there
Yeah.
with Ryan, and it was just like, holy crap, could this be any longer of a movie?
Dude, I thought we were coming to a close, and I look at the time. I'm like, this is like 30 minutes into it.
Yep.
Jeez.
So you mentioned goblins. I've also forgot you mentioned goblins earlier. That's one of my that's my
Ghouls.
other favorite part of the movie. The soundtrack by Goblin.
Oh, yeah, I did mention Goblin Brain, but that was not at all connected to this. But I absolutely
Wow.
want to talk about the soundtrack as well.
Well, I'm gonna use it anyway.
Yeah,
Segue.
please.
Goblin's an experimental rock group from the 70s. They contributed to the soundtrack to the original Dawn of the Dead and other movies like Contamination and Hell of the Living Dead. No relation to Romero's work, but their music here is incredible. A lot of great themes, very overbearing and scary in that aspect. It's so cool. It makes for a great listen.
Yeah, it's got a funky little fucking guitar riff to it too.
Yeah, I
That
love
was
it, man.
that's what I was noticing too. I was like, okay, shit.
Yeah,
This thing kind of fucking goes, you know?
yeah. It's funky, but it's not distracting funky. That's kind of the problems with when 70s horror movies, when they decide to do kind of funk, infuse some funk in their soundtracks, it becomes distracting and it dates the movie quicker.
Yeah.
But this one was the right kind of funk. It had the funk.
And it wasn't like funky funk. It was just like a bass line in there but it could have sounded really like too funky, but for some reason it didn't. It actually added a bit of like eeriness to the entire score.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a fine line it rode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the main theme is very chilling, kind of in the same way the Exorcist theme is, the Tubular Bells track.
Mhm.
And it does have that. It has that whimsy to it too, because dance school innocence of our character and all that jazz. It works. It really works.
Two other boys, the squad. What do you guys think? We got our say. What do you, after watching this again? How do you guys feel about it?
Man, I like the visuals. You could name anything, and I guarantee I do not like it. Anything.
Ow,
Name-
okay.
I don't want to be a downer. I feel like I'm like the Simon Cowell of this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, nothing in this movie beyond the lighting works for me. Nothing.
You have a history of not fully getting into Argento, am I right?
So listen, I want to like Argento. I've watched Inferno. I've watched Deep Red. I've watched Opera. I watched this. Hate all of them.
What about this movie can you not get into?
So the title of one of my Argento reviews back in the day was I don't think I'm an Argento fan, and another one was Women Are Afraid of Everything and Walk the movie. And the women are worthless in his movies. Like
I see.
when that woman falls in that room, this arbitrary barbed wire room.
Oh,
for
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Hello?
Weird.
And then
That
she's
was weird.
like, dude, oh my goodness. Just watch them attempt to fight off anyone attacking them. I was laughing. I was like, excuse me? Hello?
Yeah, I guess when I think in that sense, the one scene that comes to mind is towards the end when Jessica Harper's character was discovering the real intent behind the school. By the way, she does a fine job, I think. I mean, yeah, the dubbing is a little distracting, but you can still see a lot of them are putting in some effort.
I think there's too much effort. I'm gonna be honest. This is not with the dubbing, with the acting. This is another thing that I brought up with Carnival of Souls, is that we're at a moment in time in this time frame where we're kind of getting rid of that overacting aspect of it. So there's still kind of like that middle ground of, okay, maybe someone's not overacting, but they're not underacting. Like I feel currently nowadays people are like definitely underacting with like less emotion and shit.
Oh yeah.
But
Wait, so they're overacting, but they're not overacting, but they're not underacting, so they're just acting.
they're just acting. Yeah, exactly. But no, I like there's a like when she's talking about like her headache or something like that, and she's walking.
Dude.
And she's like,
dude,
oh my god, she's like all floaty and shit. Like,
I thought she was gonna die.
like, she just has a fucking headache. Like,
not only that, and in terms of overacting, I don't think it's necessarily overacting as much as which I agree with you, it's overacting. But I think in this case, it's due to not so much overacting as much as it is theater training.
yes, yeah, okay. So I was trying to figure out where it comes from.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was from silent films, which it could absolutely carry over from, because you got to be more expressive because there's no dialogue. So you got to be able to visually show, and that also probably carries over from theater.
Definitely.
But I was trying to figure out what it was, so I appreciate that. Theater, that is absolutely correct.
Yeah. The only problem is the dub doesn't work either, in my opinion, because one, it is for both of us. It sounds like it's excruciatingly distracting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
two, well, I think this falls more on the writing. The scene where there's someone sleeping in the big open room with them,
Yeah.
and she's trying to sell that there's someone sleeping in the room after they were told someone was going to sleep in the room with them. I was like, wait,
Well, it wasn't just anyone; it was the directress.
but they talked about that she was going, that like the teachers were going to be in the main room, and I'm like,
Not the
okay.
directress though, because that was
Did they
the
say she was?
sound. Because that was
But
the
then
sound that she was hearing. She was like, "I've heard this sound before. I think it's the directress."
snoring. I've heard this snore before.
Well, she explains that it had a
that
certain
hog-
sound
Like,
that she had heard previously. So
why
Yeah.
is that scary though?
Well,
because
to
she's
get-
like a head figure of the entire academy, so like she has some sort of
She's
greater
feared among the
importance.
students.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it's more of it's more of like an intimidation fear and less of like a fear for your life type thing.
Right.
It's like
Because
when
it sounded like she thought they were gonna all be butchered in their
Yeah,
sleep.
that's
agree.
what it did
That's-
come off
that's-
as. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, in any case, I thought, okay, the acting is overdoing it some, but I don't mind it so much. Maybe it's because I had a childhood of Godzilla movies and I can learn to read the real performance on people's faces. And I've been brushing up on my Italian horror, so I'm trying to give it a little bit of a pass sort of thing, because what are you going to do? But Jessica Harper, at least, I thought she was pretty good, even though you probably isn't her real voice being used. She's done good before. She was in Phantom of the Paradise, and she was later in Minority Reports. Not a big actress, but you know, she's fine. But the point I was trying to make was towards the end, the women. I think we were talking about the useless women or whatever. Towards the end, she's skulking the hallways and so on, and then she has to escape after this big event is going down. Her blocking or what she had to do when all that was going down, it was kind of weird. It was kind of funky looking. She was kind of holding up her arms, covering her head, sort of, and running from A to B. It was a little rigid. It was a little rigid looking.
Yeah, I think
Much in the way Sarah, the other character, fell into the
Oof.
barbed wire pit. I don't even think that was
Oof.
barbed wire. I think that was piano wire.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It looked too
I
thick
thought
to
it-
be piano
yeah.
wire.
Maybe,
I
but
immediately thought it was barbed wire as well.
okay, yeah, I thought it too, but then I thought, okay, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's piano wire because they had a piano in the school. But so yeah, the women are kind of awkward in this.
So like
movie.
even okay, I don't want to just like drive this nail into the coffin, but like even if it's a room for like piano equipment, they're literally just putting it loose in piles.
That is
I don't.
true. Yeah,
I don't think it was
it's a
piano
skew.
wire.
I like
It was
I
just
like
put
to
there on
think
purpose, probably.
Yeah, so my thing is I don't think that it's there. I genuinely do not think it was there to serve a like actual purpose. I think it was just a visual thing.
Yeah.
A lot of it is.
You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't think that it's probably metaphoric. But I mean, fuck if we know, like, you know. So I have no idea, but I don't think that it's there for like a this is where we keep the piano wire and this is where we keep the barbed wire, you know.
Oh, you went in the wrong room again.
Not the barbed
just such
wire
a
room.
It's such a strange kill too because she looks down too before she jumps. It's like, didn't you see that there? Or maybe she thought that she was really confident that she'd make the jump, but
Like part of me was like, hey, it's witches. Like maybe she didn't see it because a witch, some spell was on her. But then I thought about that and I went in a deeper hole and I'm like, what about this movie says witch or hints to there being witches other than the song going witch
at the very end of the film.
or at the exposition dump with Udo Kier and the older guy. By the way, Udo Kier, I'm shocked to see how young he was in his youth. There's those old actors you see, you're just kind of shocked when you see their younger selves. Udo Kier kind of did it for me, and yeah, he was dubbed, but again, I'm trying to see a performance going on there, and also it's just kind of nice to see a veteran horror actor in his prime when he's early in the business. Kind of like if you saw Robert Englund or Sid Haig early in their career, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Sid's super cool.
Yeah, Udo Kier.
And what were you saying, Victor, about earlier in the movie they talk about witches.
Well, because were you saying that they don't talk about witches up until that point, or at all?
There is nothing witchy or hinting or spells or like sage or nothing.
Well, there
I
might
No
not be like
bones.
any sort of material items, but there's the scene where she gets the headache from the glass. That's clearly there's intention behind that move. That lady and the kid walking up to the dog, there was something happening there.
But like
This
that doesn't necessarily like that's not specifically witch related. That can just be like bad intent related. There's nothing in here that says like witch, like in terms of like things witches do or did or would do.
I eh,
Yeah,
well,
If I
I
may,
can, yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
I will also say that's kind of one of my other. I don't know if this might be more than a nitpick, but I'm just gonna call it that. The horror and the story feel kind of like two separate entities in this movie, because
How so?
a lot of the movies you're watching, you're watching Susan go through the dance school, and she's going. Occasionally, something weird will happen to her, but yeah, it's like Ryan said, it doesn't let on there's any witchcraft going on until much later in the film, so you don't get too many hints going on throughout. And maybe Chase is onto something. Maybe it's a little more metaphorical than
I don't think
what
it needs to
we're
be taken so
perceiving.
literally. I think that
Yeah,
there is a bit
yeah.
of like mystery and like when the dog kills his own owner after not like for like no reason. There's like all these little
Hmm.
things that imply that something is supernatural is happening. But yeah, there's no like sage or witchcraft or anything. But I don't
Sure,
think there
Yeah,
needs to be in order to prove the show the
I would
whatever.
say it is a detriment because the build up to the dog killing his owner is like 8 minutes of the camera looking at empty buildings
I
with
do like that
music.
scene though, but that's just me.
uh-huh.
I do not. It took forever.
Yeah,
You know
I,
what? I thought this was gonna be a vampire movie.
See, there's nothing that says like witch outside of like the song. Like metaphorically, you can find like, okay, that's a spell, but it literally could be from any type of spell casting.
well, at the
Yeah,
very end
yeah.
of the film, where she sees him in the room, she's clearly like, speaking to what was her name, Helena, or like speaking to like performing a spell of
Yeah,
some
I mean,
sort.
also the
Mhm.
bitch was invisible. Like
Yeah,
she was fucking invisible. So like whether whether she put a spell on herself or she put a spell on fucking Susan,
I
whatever. No
love that
matter what,
effect, by the way.
yeah, that was actually super cool. It was.
yeah. Yeah, the effects work in this movie is really neat. The practical makeup and all the other special effects, not really well done. Lots of blood, cool makeup designs. I like especially when Sarah comes out as the vessel for the witch and she's all
Out of the
scarred up.
like closet,
Mhm.
Yeah, comes
that
out of the
was dope.
closet. That was
That
great.
was dope.
And then that opening kill where the one girl gets hanged and then the hotel owner gets impaled by the debris from the glass.
The
Yeah,
hanging was a cool set piece.
that was
It really
absolutely cool.
Absolutely.
Oh, can we got to talk about the blood in this movie? We
love
got
it.
Bright
we
red.
got to talk about it. They're using fucking paint.
That's how they did it. That's how the Italians did it.
Also interesting, you were back in the day, some movies you were not allowed to use a deep red for blood.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Because it was kind of supposed to look. I mean, I know there was like in the 50s and stuff. There was like that code that was put out that you can't show like
Yeah, they
violence. or
couldn't use
sex.
blood.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it did that carry over or
I believe that's part of the thing.
Even in all countries, though.
Because this was imported to America, and I think they knew that beforehand.
oh okay, that makes sense.
No, I watched Lucio Fulci's Zombie, which is one of my favorite zombie movies ever, and probably my favorite Italian horror movie. Lots of blood in that. It looked like paint, but it worked. I think it worked, giving it a style at least.
Word,
And-
word. Yeah, it would be. It definitely would. It would make sense. Like, but the thing is, this came out in the 70s, so like they stopped doing like really giving a shit about that in like the late 60s, though. I thought, right? Or when was the what was the act? There was like an act. There was like something. The blank.
You know what?
act.
You know what? In the late '60s, the MPAA formed finally. The ratings finally came into
Yes.
films.
because
Movies-
of because the act was lifted or something. I don't remember. I need to figure out the fucking act.
Sure,
But
but you had
yeah.
movies. I'm sorry, man.
You're all good, man. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Tally me later, boys. There were movies coming out like Bonnie and Clyde and Night of the Living Dead that were really pushing what the public was really pushing, what content could be put in movies and what audiences were going to see them. So they had to implement these ratings now and really classify them under certain categories so we can keep out certain minorities or keep out certain focus groups. So they don't traumatize them, you know. It's like if you took your 8-year-old to go see Frankenstein or something. Terrible. Can't do that.
That's just bad parenting. Let's be real.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. I mean, if your kid can't handle Frankenstein, then you should not be mad at the filmmakers for making it.
Listen, if my child is not going to appreciate Lars von Trier, I don't want him in the first place.
Fuck, dude.
Get him outta here.
You're the bad parent.
I'm looking at Antichrist right now.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm literally looking at it.
Ryan, I beg you, don't be that bad parent.
We'll save that conversation for another time.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we talking about? The blood?
The blood.
Good blood.
Good blood.
Good blood. Reminds me of Dawn of the Dead. You know what? Actually, there is kind of a good connection there because George Romero and Dario Argento were close collaborators and friends in their day, and I think Argento helped develop Dawn of the Dead with Romero. I think Romero watched this movie, was really impressed, and then they got together and said, "Hey, let's get it to a project." And then they eventually came up with Dawn of the Dead, and Argento helped them get distribution rights in Italy and so forth.
I thought Dawn of the. When the fuck did? Wait,
78 or 79.
I thought there was a. Wasn't there a black and white movie that was Dawn of the
Night of the
Living Dead? Okay. I was like, wait, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Is this the one where the zombies are fucking running? Is this the first one, or is that 28 Days Later?
Well, the remake of Dawn of the Dead they run, but Dawn of the Dead is the sequel where the characters are in a shopping mall.
Oh, okay, yep. And the fucking zombie baby. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, that's the remake though. The original was different from the remake.
So to bring us back on track, I don't like the music in this at all.
No? Aw.
Not even a little bit. Not even like a tiny bit.
Not even a little bit. When I first heard it, I almost winced. I was like, this is not for me at all.
Even the instrumentals?
Nah, no bueno.
It's all instrumentals.
Well, I know, but like, I guess, well, I don't know what part of the score, like all of it then. Because I remember when you first saw it, it was like you're not a fan of the vocal work in it or whatever. That was.
Nah, I don't like
just all of it then.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any vocals, just the witch parts.
There was a bit of
chanting.
chanting.
I didn't appreciate that either.
Yeah. No, I dug it. I like Goblin's work. In any movie, I find whenever Goblin does the soundtrack for a movie, it makes most any movie better.
Okay, that's a good point to raise. What would a lot of the scenes be without that music specifically?
I don't think it would be quite the same. It wouldn't drive home the trippy nature of it all.
Exactly. It would just be a woman walking through a hallway for 8 minutes.
That's
really
like
colorful
all horror
hallways.
Films.
That's very true.
That's the unfortunate thing. Like every horror film's just people walking and getting scared.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like
that's why
most 90%
that's
of mainstream
why some other
films.
movies can do it really well. They know how to initiate the threat. This movie doesn't know how to do that.
Well, I
yeah.
think.
Well, I don't think
almost-
that was the focus. I don't know. This is my first giallo, but I don't think the main focus was like inventing horror structure and whatnot.
I feel like the sorry, go ahead, Vic.
No, go. You're good.
I was gonna say I feel like the I don't know if Ryan, it sounds like you've seen quite a few giallo.
Yep.
It seems like that story is almost second. It's mostly
big time.
It's almost experimental, surreal visuals, and that's the main contributor to the film. It sounds like the people that really love this movie or like, you know, the people who the people that tend to really love this movie are mostly like cinematographers. I can't imagine a writer being like, wow, yeah, it's just a fucking piece of art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the best thing I can say is when I was watching, I don't remember which one, it might be Opera, but one of his others. There's a scene where a woman is being chased and stabbed to death, and there's surf rock playing, and I was
What?
just like, I'm done,
Like
bro.
fucking-
This is
like
it.
like
I'm
Beach
not-
Boys.
Like it would be goblins doing the music, but it's like and I'm like, are you dead serious?
Oh man.
They build the tension. He raises the knife, and as the woman's face fills with fear and the camera zooms in on her face, I was like, oh, this is terrible. I hate it. And like that's subjective, meaning he is an auteur for sure. This is his vision 100%, and what he does not jive with me at all. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it is not
It's
for
not
me
for
in
you.
any way.
I think hearing just surf rock music or the term surf rock music over stabbing scene, that wouldn't gel with me either. And I like Goblin.
And this is after watching her like clumsily running like a circle and a figure eight as he's chasing her, and I'm like, dude, this is like honestly the way it was written. I know it's written for like slasher movie, but it was written in the same way that comedy is written in the structure, and it was super funny. By the time the surf rock it was like the punchline, and I was gone. I was like, that's so funny the way they structured that scene. It's hysterical.
Sweet. Did you ever see Fargo, Ryan?
No, actually, I've got it on my list.
Okay, there's a part with a shower curtain that's really funny. I was wondering if it was on the same level of comedy as that part. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should watch. I think it's Opera. There's one where it ends. I won't spoil anything, but the movie ends, and there's like some characters in the Alps, and tears ran down my face. I laughed so hard because I couldn't believe it.
Opera. Would you say that's the one you least hate out of the ones you've
I don't
seen?
know. I really hate all of them. Like, these are just not for me, you guys.
Okay. You know what's peculiar to me? So there's the part where Jessica Harper's character is meeting with Udo Kier when she wants to know more about the witches. They're at this kind of banquet scene with a lot of elderly scientists, folks, and whatnot. Kier calls over one of his colleagues because he knows more information. There's a cutaway shot. The camera is on the top of a skyscraper, and it's pointing down at the scene. I have to wonder, someone had to run up to the top of that building in the middle of the shoot just to get a shot that lasts less than a second over a very rudimentary task is walking to where the characters are. You couldn't have got that from the ground floor or the balcony.
You know, yeah, exactly. A fucking balcony, exactly.
The third floor maximum. You had to go to the fucking rooftops.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about Suspiria?
Yeah.
You just described a shot that's in deep red.
They do it there too.
Oh man.
What's up his head? What's up his head with these directing choices?
Oh jeez.
Aw,
Well,
jeez.
I'm gonna stick
been
with
relatively
Can I get an odd G's?
Ah, jeez.
Oh, what else? I like. There's some good set pieces. The movie does know how to build set pieces. I think. Again, the kill scenes and that whole finale, which I think, by the way, was kind of a rushed ending.
You think?
It felt really fast.
Oh yeah, not earned either.
All movies from this like period of like 20 years, all the scenes are super quick. If that's not what you're talking about, though, I don't think.
No. Well, no, I would disagree with that. There's
I absolutely know you would disagree with it, but that's okay.
but not just me. I think a lot of people would. But
Okay,
it's your
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Anyway,
it is.
It's fast though. She discovers what's going on. She sets it all off, and then crumbles. Credits. Bam.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
That's pretty much the end of Aliens as well.
No.
It makes me.
That took its time though.
Okay, sorry, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
So the ending of these movies are so fast. It makes you think of that meme where it like goes to be continued. right? It's like she raises the knife, stabs the invisible woman, and then just to be continued in the credits roll. It's so fast.
It does. It is really. It is extraordinarily quick.
Victor, can you put in yes in the edit of this video? We're already getting
Just
demonetized.
randomly in here or what?
Yeah,
Just
just
someone
kind
saying
of
yes?
highlight the point. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Well, Victor, what the fuck do you think about this?
Holy cow! Finally.
Oh god, I'm
Um,
sorry, man.
It's, I really like this film a lot. I feel pretty lucky that none of the things that you guys have a problem with get to me, because I don't know. There's certain things in it that are pretty hammy and not completely well done. But I think overall, as a altogether, I find a lot of enjoyment out of it. Even though like by the end, I'm so underwhelmed. Like I've never liked a film this much and been so underwhelmed by an ending. I don't think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why were you underwhelmed?
Because it ends so quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like it's a pretty cool climatic ending. I do love what goes on, but I was just like, I already knew it was happening, but I was just like, there couldn't have been like I don't know, like sure the climax was cool, but I kind of want more after that.
But like, here's the thing: I didn't even realize it until you're like, "It's so fast," and I'm like, "It was fast." And I thought about it, and then I remember that antagonizing voice, just threatening the main character for like 3.5 minutes. Just you're gonna die, and just laughs maniacally forever.
It wasn't that long.
She doesn't make
We
a
just
move.
get to it.
It seemed long, but it definitely I do agree that the ending just fucking it's just
It
stab, boom, building burn, done. You know,
But but everything before that though, I find to be pretty. I'm pretty into it. Just all the scenes where characters are just wondering like, what the hell's going on. Like that one scene specifically where Sarah goes into Susie's room while she's like having a really hard time staying awake, but she's like listening. Sarah's listening to the footsteps down below them and like wondering the direction of where they're going. But like, there's just such like a quiet bit of like intensity there. Like I'm not on the edge of my seat or anything, but I'm like I feel what they're feeling. I'm just like, what are they doing right now?
Yeah.
The scene where they're all yeah. What?
Why does that intrigue you?
Because I'm also like, who's down there? What are they doing? It's, really late at night. It adds to the bit of like just the overall intrigue, I guess, because yeah.
You're engaged with the storyline is what you're
Right.
saying.
And also too,
I was not then.
yeah. Well, I don't know. There's just certain scenes where they kept implying something different, like something a bit more sinister was going on, and I thought they were really well done. I don't know. Overall, I was into it again.
Nice. Yeah, that scene you're talking about, I think that was probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Which one?
The scene where Sarah is trying to like she's like fucking shaking Susan pretty much. And then
Who's like in a coma?
exactly, she's like
Airplane.
Exactly like airplane. There's a fucking line outside, But no, I agree. I think that was in my opinion, that was my favorite scene of the movie.
There was a great lighting switch in that scene. I really liked.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, the lighting changed from like the green back into the red.
Yeah.
Or not. It wasn't red. It was green and then
It was red into green and then back again. It was going from the practicals and then the subjective lighting and then back again.
Yeah, and then it got the little I don't know what the top of the door is called. That little fucking the little glass part of the door like lights up and then
The window?
Yeah, it's a window, but it's gotta have a fucking name, right?
I get
It
you're
probably
saying.
does. Let's just call it a window.
Yeah, okay, the window, yeah. But that scene she's very panicked. And I was like, I also agree. I was like, oh shit, something's about to go down.
Mhm.
And indeed, something did go down. She went down into the fucking. She opened the wrong door, and she was meaning to get to the piano wire door, but she actually hit the fucking barbed wire door.
Oh no!
Whoops.
Classic mistake. But
I know, pie in the face.
yeah, exactly. One thing I did want to bring up is that I can buy the sense of that you don't necessarily need contemporary motifs of a witch. I guess I don't necessarily agree with you, Ryan, on the fact that there's nothing that's like outright witchy.
Mm-hmm.
But because also we don't, in I guess this is Germany, but it's Italian. We don't know, their Italian witches could be something totally different than, North American witches.
Here's the thing.
Go for
I
it.
am petty. And the
Okay.
first time I watched this movie, I literally looked that up.
Oh, see?
And there is nothing in this film
You fucked me,
that
Ryan.
is an Italian witch. There is
fucked me.
nothing.
I could have absolutely had the ignorance is bliss thing.
No, you
But
can't.
I think at the same time, why try to solve it? Like it's a witches in a movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Yeah.
It's just because I don't like it. I'm just not immersed.
I mean, that makes sense.
You can't stop hate.
Yeah.
Like the what is it? The footstep scene. I get it, but in my head, I'm like, dude, it's maintenance. Relax. Why does it matter if he went right instead of left? That does not build suspense in writing.
Oh my god.
This is just cinema sins.
I'm looking at it as a writer, and the writing drives me up a wall.
That's fair.
So you're so at this point in time in the movie, you're so uninterested that you're now breaking it down on like a logical level. You're like, oh, it's just a fucking
like
movie.
I went from destroying it, watching it, because it lost my attention so many times. It got to the point where I was destroying it on a meta level.
Oh man, it's like a horror. It's like a slasher film being like.
I was like, I was
Holy.
like, the pacing of the movie, the way it's written, it's structured in a way where there is a lull and then an event, and then a lull and an event, and that is the entire writing. There is no arc, or there's no continuous thing. There's just event, lull, and it's just this like waving ocean for like an hour and however long the movie is.
Yeah, but I mean, you could go as far as to say that all horror films are like that, though. Like in
well-written horror films,
I guess
or in any film has
that's what I was saying. Yeah,
a arc and a plummet for the main character, and I think there's 3 main points that happen in a movie.
Yeah, like a rising come to action type shit.
Yes, and this has none of it.
But yeah, I mean, I think she would have the come to action where she has to fight back essentially. But I think it's just because it's more of a self-defense thing. But I don't.
Yeah, like it totally does by the end. It's just using that point at the end of the movie with none others. It's just too late at that point for me. It's just I've checked out completely.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I will say in hindsight, at the very end, she makes it out of the school and the building's on fire. The way she walks away toward camera and she smiles, I feel like that was too casual. I feel like that was too casual.
It really underplays everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, another one down. Let's
almost looked like a fucking mistake. It almost looked like she was like laughing at someone on set,
Yeah.
Like it
Tell that dude to put his pants back on. We got one chance at this shot.
Yeah. Exactly. The fucking
Although,
on fire.
If they were going to end it with her walking out in general, I would like how it is. I would have rather had I wouldn't have had her just like run out screaming. I think the way she just walks out just thanking, like just so thankful she's out would be way better than like just running out screaming.
Yeah,
and then
Texas Chainsaw style.
Oh no! Well, she runs out in Texas Chainsaw. She runs out screaming.
Don't spoil it.
Oh, you haven't seen it. That's right. Sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
Yeah. Please, fucking watch that, Victor.
I know.
Please, we watched it recently, and my roommate was like, she's like, that was probably the fucking scariest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. Now you know she runs.
It's
like
terrifying.
Movie.
It's terrifying. But the ending of this movie just felt very fucking. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe. I think the only thing is rushed. Is that I think that's the best way to describe it for me, for how I'm feeling with it. But also the movie doesn't feel rushed. The movie feels like it doesn't have. The movie feels like it has all the time in the world, like because it doesn't really like. There's no. I mean, it's fucking weird. It's hard to describe because the movie starts off and it's really obviously spooky, and we see Susan in the taxi, and there's the main chick that's losing her mind just sprinting in the woods while it's raining, and she's in like a nightgown and shit, which is a cool. I really liked that shot of her running with the trees and shit. I thought that was really cool. The pacing feels like it starts off like it really wants you to be like, whoa, wow, this is gripping, and then it kind of goes like Ryan was saying, kind of into this lull until it doesn't.
Describe a movie with another movie's title. Crawl.
Yeah, exactly.
It slows to a crawl.
Slow to a crawl.
I'd
But
rather watch that. Crawl's awesome.
is that the crawl? Is that the Sam Raimi one?
Yeah, the alligator one.
Nice.
Lot of fun.
I'd
Ryan will tell you. Ryan.
Bruh, I just watched that again. I am just gonna accept my place in this podcast. I didn't like it as much as I did the first time. This podcast kills movies for me. That's all this. That's all it does.
Dude, I would be be so. I'm glad. I don't want to talk about Blade Runner. I don't want to talk about Blade Runner.
Wait.
I love
There might be
Blade
hope
Runner
yet.
so much.
There might be hope yet. If we retire this podcast, maybe you'll like the Terminator.
Maybe.
No, it doesn't. It's
Maybe.
not. Oh, you're talking about yeah.
All of you.
Well, Vic, do you have any like final closing words at all about it? Like how your overall feeling, like the ending and stuff like that?
Well, I agree. Yeah, that the ending's rushed, and I don't know. I guess that's just like you either like it or you don't, and that's that. But well, that's like my only the only real thing that I'm underwhelmed about. I just think like it really draws me in on an atmospheric level.
Yeah.
And not just like the lighting and whatnot, but also the situations and just the mystery, I guess. Like who's killing these women? Why are these just the various things that happen in the film? Why are they happening? And I just even though it is pretty corny at times, I don't know, for some reason it still manages to come off as creepy for me. And like with the music too, I've never listened to a Goblin album before, but that also somehow works. It has that bit of whimsy, like you said, Nick, at one point.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. It just works for me. So I don't know. I don't got too much else to say.
I think you would like Goblin if you listen to him more, Victor. I think they're your kind of band.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I personally I kind of dug the music, but I can understand someone not digging the music.
Totally.
But for me personally, I think I was in. I thought the riffs were it felt newer than
Yeah.
late 70s. It felt almost like late 80s kind of vibe to it. It felt the
Wow.
like
They make 1977 sound like 1987.
exactly. Trend setting the Goblin.
Trend-setting Goblin.
But yeah, it felt kind of like fuck, dude. It felt like European like rock, fucking techno rock, which is I guess kind of what it is. So
Yeah. I kind of like that a little bit. I guess foreign type. I'm an avid rock and roll listener. By the way, late tribute here. Eddie Van Halen gone way too soon. I'm an avid rock and roll listener, and anytime I listen to any kind of foreign type of rock and roll or international rock and roll or rock type of rock music, it is interesting when it comes around. You could see I guess the identifying markers of what you like in it, but it just has kind of a zest to it, just a little bit, that Italian hand motion sort of thing, just sort of, it has the sauce kind of thing. I'm not making any sense. Basically, yeah, international forms of rock music have a certain quality to them that is different, but if you're into it, you're into it. It's neat sounding. Ryan, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'll read one of my closings to my review for Opera because it fits for this as well. I said, and quote, I want to like Argento's work. I respect what he does, and there are always a few excellent shots with some experimental bits in his movies. However, I can never get into them. Forced writing, being poorly delivered by inconsistent direction with tone obliterating music does not work for me.
What rating did you give Opera?
I gave Opera 1.5.
Jesus.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, if you guys you guys are gonna have to watch Opera. That's the goofy one.
Would you give 1.5 to Suspiria, Ryan?
I'd probably give it I can't go in the middle. Between 2.5 and 3. Can I do that?
Yeah, like two and
Sure.
3/4.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
2.75. What do you want, Victor? What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it the 4. I just think this is a great horror film, and while it's not like overly scary or really scary at all,
Mhm.
I'm just kind of an atmosphere guy, so I could care less about some of the flaws as long as the film I feel what it's delivering. I can read its mail, you know what I mean? Read its mail.
Absolutely.
Then yeah, I have a lot better time dealing with the negatives. So
Sure.
I like it a lot, even though the ending's really rushed.
I will say though, you should not read other people's mail. I think that's a federal crime in some states.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it.
No.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. Chase, what's your rating?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. I agree with Victor in the sense of it's a very atmospheric film, and I think breaking it down on a writing level, which makes sense. It's a film, and writing is into it. I feel like that's not necessarily 100% fair. That being said, there is the campiness of it. It's some of the campiness is just too much for me.
Yeah.
And the dubbing is it's also just not for me. I couldn't see past it. But that being said, the visuals are stunning. Movie is beautiful. I enjoyed the soundtrack. And I'm a big fan of blood, so I liked the fake blood and how goofy it looked. But yeah, so I give it 3. I'm not super sold on it yet, but maybe giving it another shot might raise. But I can't see myself going lower than a 3.
My final rating: 3.5 barbed wire cut up ladies out of 5. I'd say roughly the same as Chase, except a little more. I liked it a little more. I think it does live up to its fame as one of the great modern horror movies. Okay, it's not perfect. The dubbing it's there, it's pronounced, but I can see past it. I can see what they were going for with the characters and so forth. It is light on story so much that I think the horror aspect is detached from it in a lot of places. But yeah, it's a solid looking movie, plenty of bloodshed, a lot of pretty colors, and Goblin's music always kicks ass for me. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I might watch this again. Again, the atmosphere is one of a kind. Or at least it is. It's great Italian horror atmosphere. I could see myself checking this out again. I probably will after I watch the freaking after I watch the remake, which I probably will do just because.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine what your thoughts on that are.
I want to.
I know it might be bad or worse or mediocre.
If you think this was slow.
But so yeah, I like this one. It's a great Italian horror movie. Lives up to its fame. Check it out. Do we have questions?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Mine is from Daniel Tran. You guys know Daniel Tran?
Yeah, Daniel.
Worked with him on a set before.
Yeah, we worked with him on set. Yeah.
Trans good people.
Yeah.
He asked, why does Quentin Tarantino have a foot fetish?
Dude, that's so deep. Listen,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's like way back in that's deep in your brain's core. When you're a baby, this something happens when you're a kid and gets the wires crossed. There you go.
Yep.
I don't know.
Why do
People
we
are
why
turned
are we
on by
attracted
different
to
things.
anything?
Yeah, people are turned on by different things. Let's not shame over it.
But
I
I
mean-
think it's the wrong part of the foot.
yeah, true.
What part of the wait? Really? What's he focusing on? What should he be focusing on?
I don't know. I'll leave that up to you, the audience.
I'm asking you, motherfucker.
It's the little piggies, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay.
The little piggies of the heel. Wasn't the most
Alright.
fun part. But anyway, I mean, I would. I mean, if I had an if I had an opportunity to suck on Salma Hayek's toes, I probably would as well.
I second that motion.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother, out here sucking toes.
Fuck me for being a guy.
No.
Next
bro.
question.
All right.
that was the only question I got.
Okay, life question.
Huh?
How do you, dude?
How do I, dude?
How do you, dude?
How do
the-
you do?
Well, the dude abides, so
I would say, I mean, I've almost turned it into like my comma. So I'm like, listen, dude. And then I proceed the conversation.
I feel like that's most Washingtonians or Pacific Northwesterners. We've adopted.
Dude is basically my punctuation at this point.
Yeah.
Exclamation point. Instead of that, dude, exclaimed.
It's also an absolute gender
Yeah.
neutral term as well.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Bro,
That's how
To
I
some
can tell.
people.
That's what I can tell Ryan's upset or happy or giddy or funny or loose. Dude.
So another question. What draws any of you to horror?
me, nothing. I'm gonna be 100% completely honest. It's my least favorite genre of movies,
Why
That's
is that?
films. I don't like being scared for one, and there's just so many bad horror movies, but there's also really good ones. It's like saying that, like, okay, well, there's so many bad comedy movies. Speaking of Adam Sandler, you know, but like nothing really draws me in. I guess it's I have a thing for masks. Like, I'm big into masks, so like a lot of horror films have a cool mask in it, and that draws me in. So that'll be my answer. Mask.
It's a good one.
Just mask.
Okay, I've always liked, like when I was a kid, I always liked the old like monster movies and stuff. And I
Yeah.
just love I don't know what it is about a dark atmosphere. I have just always been drawn to it. Absolutely always.
I guess I'll take the reins here. I don't, it's kind of a rush when something can work up an intense feeling in me. If I welcome it, not if it's something horrible. If I get stressed or intense due to bad circumstances, I don't like that. But something like a horror movie, the way they work the emotions, get a rise out of you, prey on your suspense, like just sitting in your chair, you're just left helpless. You can't help the people on screen, can't shoo them away from the danger. That kind of stuff works me up. And also just whatever this world can hold or what is capable of holding or the possibility of what it could hold, i.e. like a prehistoric monster or the ocean depths, stuff like that, material horror like that, something that could actually exist, that certainly gets a rise out of me. And I like intense situations. It makes for hair-raising excitement.
Yeah.
Artistically. If a movie can really shock my senses and borderline traumatize my psyche for a little bit, then
Oh, dude, my shadow self. That's it.
oh,
It hits me right in the shadow self, and I get to live out the crap I can never do in the real world. And I get to live out my anxiety attacks and like die in the movie and kill the person in the movie. My shadow self has a run with it.
Gang.
that's a good point. I
that's a
would
great
second
point.
that.
Hmm.
And Victor?
I guess in terms of like contemporary horror, I really don't. I mean, I guess horror in general. I unfortunately, it's really hard for me to actually be like scared from a film, and so like I think the next best thing for me is to be shocked or disturbed. And I think I don't know if there's anything specific about the genre. Like if it's like a modern horror film, you might get a fun film like I don't know, Strangers Pray at Night or like Crawl or something. They kind of like, give you a good little gore and blood and, that's call it a night. But when I watch a horror film, I just want to at least be creeped out or shocked in something in a creative way. Like, when Hereditary came out, I wasn't like convulsing because I was so scared, but it was mostly just like, wow, these are some really new and creative ways I haven't really seen horror done before. And so I just mostly go in hoping that, hey, I'm going to be creeped out in a way that I haven't really experienced. And that never really happens often, but when it does, I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying until I get another good one.
Yeah.
I think the main flaw with that is horror movies are too safe.
Yeah, that's also a thing
What?
too. But also it has to do with like personal fears. Like, sure, things that happen in horror movies are like always you never want to be in them, but I don't know. I just don't know what it is exactly. That doesn't like scare me, I guess.
When
Like
was the last time you were scared of a horror movie?
Like I don't know, scared? Like what's scared mean?
Genuinely scared. Your heart was racing. You couldn't watch the screen. You were feeling the emotions. They were hitting too close to home.
I think one film in particular, Hagazusa, A Heathen's Curse. Right, and I saw that Sif. It's very like similar in ways to The Witch, but the horror in that was just like, what the hell? Like it was like really disturbing stuff and very uncomfortable and not safe at all from what I remember. I haven't seen it since, but that film like really kind of shook me.
I felt like every time I looked at the skull, I felt like something bad was going to happen.
Dude, it was just it was an uncomfortable movie. You felt like the objects they were using as props were like cursed.
Yeah. Ryan, would that be the same as you?
The last time I was genuinely scared with a movie?
Yeah.
I would have to say it's the reason I'm so obsessed with it, but it's Hereditary.
Yeah.
It's just like I know everyone says it, but like the scene when he goes to bed after the shocking moment.
Oh god, dude, yeah.
My anxiety of like wanting him to do the right thing and just like please just go say what happened so I don't have to sit here with this.
The sound of everything that's going on in the background too.
Yeah, just hearing like she's gonna like, all right, I'm gonna go to the store now. I'm like, please don't go to the car.
10 more steps and then she sees what happened.
Yeah, that was
just
that.
Can you fucking imagine that though?
That's a thing.
That's why it's so grounded and it's such a realistic and tangible fear. It wasn't necessarily the violent act that the audience was suffering through. It was the act of guilt they had to suffer through.
Yeah. One thing about it, Hereditary, the tension is like totally horrific. And I think maybe that and Hagazusa were like the two films were just like, damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa, mama.
I will give Hereditary that was the scariest part of that movie.
Yeah, I honestly the subtleness and the silence of Hereditary is the shit that fucked with me the most. Like like when he comes back and he's going to the house and he sees his dad and everything. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like on the edge of my seat. I've got a fucking blanket like I'm a 12-year-old girl, bro. I'm like freaking out. And then there's like the shot of her climbing the ceiling in the background.
Almost died.
Yeah. Dude, I had to turn it back. I was like, there's no way that just happened. And and I'm like, oh my fucking god. I had to pause it and I'm like, I had to get my girlfriend. I'm like, you need to watch this. Yep. And so we went and she finished it with me and she's like, that was really fucking scary. And I'm like, yeah. But,
dude, me and my girlfriend just watched that with one of her friends who hasn't seen this yet.
Oh god!
And it was great to watch the reactions when he was just throughout the house, and the scene that really like destroyed her for a long time, and she's still like, I don't like being home alone still, was the mother banging her head on the ceiling.
Oh my god, dude, that's fucking
that was traumatizing.
Yeah. But I other than that, I would also agree that was the last time I was really scared. but
Yeah.
I saw that after this next one. But during it, like the first
Oh
time,
yeah.
the first
Yeah.
time. So I have a crazy, like I'm terrified of clowns,
Yeah.
and I thought so. The how my fear of clowns came to be is that when I was like 6 or 7, I watched the original It, and it scared the fuck out of me as it
Yeah.
should, as you know, as a 7 or 8 year old. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll go see the remake, and it'll take it away, you know. And that, oh my god, dude, I've never been that scared in my entire life, like of a movie. I mean, obviously, there's been shit that's happened in my life that I'm like actually fight or flight type shit, but I was so scared of it that I was sweating, like not sweating like oh, you're like, oh, my forehead's like, my brow was a little, like I was fucking like drenched, and I felt like I was gonna throw up. And then the scene where he comes out of the water and he like fucking
Oh
shakes his body and changes,
man.
dude, I fucking left. Like, I left the fucking theater, and I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta fuck you. I've watched it recently since then though, and it was much. I mean, it still obviously freaks me out a lot.
Last time I was scared of a horror movie, real talk, honest to God, it was the I Spit on Your Grave remake, because that was the highlight for me. Okay, it's a shitty movie. It's a really shitty movie, but the rape scene in that movie, it was so brutal, so intense. I couldn't imagine real rape being much different. It was my head was just firing off on all cylinders.
That's fair.
It was scary. It was crazy intense. For as shitty of a movie it is, that was the one good thing that was the one, or not the good thing. That was the one thing they got right. They sold that emotional factor. But for a good movie, if we're talking good horror movies, I think the last time was when me and Ryan watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for the first time. I think I watched it for the first time at least. It was Leatherface's introduction in the movie. Guy stumbles through the doorway.
God, that timing.
No spoilers.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. So, next question. This is my last question. What would you guys say is the best scene in a film as far as cinematography goes?
Oh,
A
in a
scene?
film
You
or
can-
a horror film?
Film in general. You can
Oh, I
only
need an
pick
hour.
one. No honorable mentions off the top of your head. No. Oh, also this. Just one.
Okay,
One.
best shot in a movie, period, or best movie with great camera work?
Best shot in a movie, period.
Do you have 10 hours?
I have. I mean, I know it. Mine's
You get one
entirely
off the top of your head right now.
Yeah,
One scene that you can think of that had the best cinematography.
yeah. Yeah.
1917.
Oh my
What
god.
scene?
What's the scene?
When Schofield makes the charge down the trenches.
That's
All right.
beautiful.
We got
That's you think that's the most beautiful scene in a movie
Put
ever?
me on the spot. I don't know. Give me some more time. I'll think of something better.
What do you guys have?
Okay. Let's get real. I'm gonna get real.
No. You already said yours. What's the rest you
I hate
got?
you.
Victor?
I'm going last, buddy.
Oh fuck. Mine's really easy. I have it
Oh, you
fucking
can say
tattooed
if you
on.
go last. Fuck off.
My favorite shot from my favorite movie of all time. When if you didn't know, when the K sees in Blade Runner 2049, when K sees the holographic display of Joy after Joy has just been killed, spoiler alert, and she reaches down and points at him and she says, "You look lonely," is, in my opinion, the most beautiful shot that has ever been created, and I have it tattooed on me. So
Nice.
Wonderful.
Shit.
Can I
shit,
seriously take
shit.
mine back, please?
I don't know. You said yours already, man. We get one shot at this. I think. All right, I gotta talk slow because I have two in mind, but I'm going to take a scene from The Lighthouse, and the scene is going to be
when he fucks the mermaid,
it's going to be. Now there's three scenes in my head.
You gotta choose one, man. Them's your
Clock is
rule.
ticking, buddy. Pick one.
Yeah, I didn't say a time limit. I just said one.
You said on the spot.
You did say on the spot. That is true.
I did, and I said the lighthouse, and it's gonna be
This
that one scene
motherfucker is stalling.
that I really liked.
Motherfucker.
Fucking stalling.
It's a good ways into the movie.
Oh my god, just get on with it.
So it's gotta be the shot when what's his name? Willem Dafoe is in the hole, and the camera's just zooming in on him as he's giving a monologue when dirt's going on his face.
Okay.
That I will just think about, like, I'll be doing anything, and I probably have that thought of that image cross my mind at least once a day at some random point. I'll just be making dinner, and I think about the scene where he's pouring his guts out about a situation and being buried alive. Like, I always think about that.
Awesome. Great.
That's a great
Now, for all the time you've taken picking your pick, I want a repick.
I was just giving Victor a ton amount of time so he can make sure he really likes his decision.
Give him some
What are you
more
talking about?
time.
You're giving it to him right now, arguing with me. What do you got, Victor?
You guys want to go on a little longer?
Okay, I will go on longer.
No,
That's
I'm just
17.
kidding.
What?
God, dude. Fuck. This is tough. I want to say like 2001, but the scene in mind, yeah, oh, frick, dude.
Come on, man. Come on.
How about this? How about this? My personal favorite, because I can't think of the greatest personal favorite. When
Well, yeah, I mean, it's your choice.
Interstellar, when McConaughey's character falls into the
Tesseract?
Tesseract, yes. Time as a 3D construct. That scene, I remember, because up until that point, it's this, pretty standard sci-fi film in a way, in a sense. Like, it's. But when it gets to that point, I'm just like, whoa, huh? What?
Mhm.
Huh? So, I think that's, yeah. I'll go with that.
Fuck it. I'm changing my pick.
Change your
Not
pick.
the-
Do your shit. Do your shit.
The one shot I really love, I think, is Pacific Rim. It's just this one simple shot, tilts up from Gypsy Danger's foot up to his head at ground level. Just the beauty and majesty in one simple display of scaling in a genre monster movie says a lot to me.
There's a Nick answer right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a genuine one there. I like that one more.
There you go. Now you see?
I see.
Man, you should have just went last. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. You put me on the spot.
Well, I think that about does it with the episode. If you are listening to us on the Apple Podcast, make sure you leave us a nice little rating there. And subscribe to us on YouTube, follow on Spotify, and all that good stuff. Yes, Ryan, thank you for coming back.
Of course.
And I think your picks are next week.
Ooh.
Do you have them ready to roll to announce, or still need time?
I have a short film picked out, and for horror film, I don't think I do yet.
Okay. Well, look forward to that next week. And then after that, yeah, that's we're almost done with our October stuff. So that was fun.
So
God,
soon?
This month went by fucking crazy fast.
Yeah.
Going by crazy fast.
We should have done more shit. We should have done 2 a week.
Well,
No, I don't think I could do that, my man.
I asked y'all.
1 week is perfect.
We live and learn. We still got time. We can't wait to talk more horror with you, fine listeners.
Yes, thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya!